are now walking in the Herc's world. You are now walking into Herc's world. Aye.
Discussion that we need to hear. Topics they be scared to touch. Parties say we do too much. Herc, I think they scared of us. Meaning this is filled with hits. How you turned up like a jit. You are now in Herc's world. If you love her, had your chick. You are now in Herc's world.
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 And y'all know how we do. It's me, the Big Herc, and you tuned in to Herc's World, man. Season 5, episode 6, 7, lucky number 7. Before we get too deep into the episode, it's gonna give y'all a warning. This week's episode may be triggering for some people. We're talking about domestic violence. I just want to, tell everybody that this is what this is about. If you feel like, you can't handle it, there's no, judgment. Y'all know Herc's World is a safe space. You may want to skip this one. But if you decide to listen, my prayer and my thought process is I hope that you take something from this episode to help somebody else or help yourself, and kind of like recognize some things that we may not necessarily understand. But just know that this episode may be triggering for some people. I want to thank my guests from last week, Bree and DA, for coming through, kicking it with me. If you have not streamed that episode, make sure you go back, listen to that. On a lighter note, it's too many damn lists out here. Go wherever you want to go on your first date. Get to know your person and take them wherever they like on your first date. If they like the Cheesecake Factory, take them there. If they like Applebee's, take them there. If they want to go on a picnic, take them there. Just do whatever works for your relationship, and stop letting social media dictate what y'all be doing. Because like I told y'all last week, if I were single and y'all want to, get with Herc, you got to take me somewhere to eat. Because the quickest way to my heart is through my stomach. So do with that information what you will. Bae, I was just talking. You can take me out to dinner whenever you're ready. Because I will enjoy Applebee's, Waffle House, and Cheesecake Factory. But we'll be right back. More Herc's World. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. We're here. Welcome back to Herc's World. I am your girlfriend's favorite podcast host, Big Herc. And if she says I'm not, that hoe's a liar. We're going back to all reliable, just because I couldn't think of anything negative to say. So we're going to go back with what works. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let our amazing panel of guests introduce themselves. And we're going to get straight into today's topic. Remember, if it's too much for you, pause it. Come back to it later. But go ahead.
Hey, so I am Dr. C. Denise Richardson, and my background is, this is kind of bananas, but I come from the field of education. I am a former ELA educator, so that's not ESL, that's ELA, English and Language Arts. So I taught that 8th grade English and Language Arts, and found my way into not only domestic violence and awareness, but I continue my education. I've come out of the classroom per se, and now I educate on domestic violence, also child sexual abuse, and child sex trafficking. So those three are intertwined in a lot of ways. So they're cross sectors. And so that's what I do. And October, we're just finishing up, although we take 1 month to acknowledge, educate, and bring awareness to domestic violence, the awareness of that, because I think a lot of people get if they don't know a lot about it, Herc, they believe that domestic violence is only physical abuse. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but it's more than that. It's much more than the physical abuse. But yeah, so October, we do this 365 days a year, advocating, bringing awareness and education around domestic violence. So I'm Dr. C. Denise Richardson. Most of the people who love me call me Rich, so I'll take that.
That's the real big T Rich. That's the real big T Rich. For y'all know who I'm talking about, she'll get it. Go ahead.
Hi, I am Ocean Bailey Cole. I'm a survivor. That kind of got me into wanting to gain more education as Ms. Richardson. I'm recently a certified professional life coach. I have a background in CBT. I also then became a meditation coach and facilitator to kind of help with some stressors from domestic violence. I currently have a nonprofit by the name of the Butterfly Effect Foundation that helps women and children in domestic situations. By me stemming from that background, having to abruptly leave my home, I wasn't able to grab anything but my children. So stemming from that situation, I decided to come up with a nonprofit to provide toiletries, all ages, infants, boys, girls, women, children. We take monetary donations as well if we need to help with room and board or food, if they need a hotel for emergency situations. Like Ms. Richardson said, it's not just physical. Domestic violence also doesn't have to be with a domestic partner. Domestic violence for me started with my mother. That later on gave me a tarnished relationship with abuse that made me associate love with abuse because my mom abused me and then said, well, I love you. That grows with you. You become conditioned to believe that. So later on, as you grow, that's what you attract. You believe that, hey, if you hit me, you apologize, you mean it, you love me, and you kind of stick through some stuff. Domestic violence has been in my life since about the age of 5, unfortunately. A year ago, I recently just escaped a domestic violence situation with my children. My life has done a complete 180 since then. Now in a safe space, my children and I am married. We do have a little one on the way, but I am a big advocate for domestic violence. Please, if someone asks for help, please help them. Please don't make light of it. Some people don't know how to ask for help. The signs can be there in isolation. If you haven't heard from a family member or friend, pop up. They may not answer the phone because they aren't able to answer the phone, in which the cases that I was in. Your strongest friend could be in the weakest moment. I was one of those people who put on the front, I'm okay, I'll be all right. At home, I was being abused. Please, please, please don't tell people it's easy to get out because it's not. It is not easy to get out, especially if you have children. I experienced narcissistic abuse for the first time in a relationship, which is it's very putrid, on top of physical abuse, because this is someone who gets into your mental, and it really messes with your brain. I had to go through a lot of therapy. I had to isolate myself from family and friends. You know, people can give you some bad advice, and when you love someone, you believe their advice. Um, I'm a big stickler, a big advocate. Whether you want to be loud about it, if you want to talk about in confidentiality, I'm here for you guys. Again, the nonprofit is called the Butterfly Effect Foundation. I also have my business by the name of Blooming Lotus Lifestyle and Wellness Company, where I have survivors that maybe suffer or experiencing PTSD. We come up with a plan where we're able to help you eliminate stresses in a healthy way. We do sound therapy. We do meditation, we do sensory deprivation massages, all those things to kind of get us going and reacclimated, because it can definitely throw you off. It can definitely have you in cahoots with yourself, your loved ones. It makes it hard for you to believe people. It makes it hard for you to believe yourself. So being a survivor and being an advocate has really pushed my career into being a mental health counselor. I'm currently in school now studying for um, health and human services so that I can be a mental health technician. And in the future, I'm looking to open up my own practice.
Wow. Okay. And last but certainly not least,
Hello. I'm DeEricka. Y'all have so much in y'all background, and it is very inspiring. So I do want to let y'all know that first and foremost. But I'm 32 years old, and I am a survivor. Um, I was in a situation for about 4 years, and it was rough. It was rough. And Ocean, just like you said, a lot of people don't know how to ask for help. And I was one of those people. I didn't really know how to tell anybody in my family or express to my friends that this was happening to me. Because for one, I couldn't believe it. As strong of a person that I would say that I am or I was, it was mind blowing. Like a lot of days, I would look at myself in the mirror like, girl, what the hell are you doing? And I couldn't even find the words to even know why I was in the situation. I I was in a relationship for about 3.5 years before my abuser, I should say. And we were only broken up for about 2 weeks before I started with him. And about 9 months into the situation, I was pregnant, and it was crazy. It was crazy before the pregnancy. And then once I got pregnant, I kind of felt stuck. I kind of felt like, well, I can't leave now. I got a child. I need somebody to help me take care of this child. And even before he got here, it was going on before him. And again, like I said, I didn't know how to tell my family this was going on or say, hey, mom, look, he's hitting me or he's cheating on me. And I found out and I said something to him about it and he blew up on me. Or he been drinking and now we're arguing about this and that and he hit me. But I have her grandson there who's only like 1 and 2 years old. And he's seeing this and hearing this, and my son is autistic, so he don't really like loud noises. So a lot of times we will be yelling and screaming and he's just yelling and crying, and it's just so much going on. So I just didn't know how to ask anybody to help me out of that situation, because it was like if it was going on before, why did you get pregnant? Or now that you're pregnant, what you gonna do? So it was just a lot of things that I was thinking about people would say about me. And like I said, I'm a survivor. I'm out of it. When I got tired, I got tired. And I was done. And never looked back.
um, three amazingly strong, powerful ladies are gonna give you advice. They're gonna, share their stories with y'all, with us, um, and just kind of hear like I know you see and not to make light of it, but like I know you everybody when you were younger, you watched those Lifetime movies where like the husband is beating on the wife and you just go like hit that nigga back or leave or something, and it's just like you never know who could be going through what or what's going on behind closed doors, and it's on the outside looking in. You could it's easy to say, well, just leave him or hit him back or I've even heard people say, throw some hot grits on him when he sleep or whatever the case may be. But from what I've researched and what I've heard, when you're in it, you kind of just like, he or she loves me, so I don't want to leave, or I don't want to give up, or whatever it is. So let's start with let's start with, is it Ocean or O'Shea? Ocean?
It's Ocean, like the ocean.
Okay. Um Give us a little background, or if you feel comfortable sharing your story. Um what was it like being in that environment, and what was your breaking point?
First of all, Miss DeEricka, I'm an autism mom as well. I love you even more now. um, my first encounter with domestic violence, um, generally, was with my mom. She was very, very verbally abusive. She was a raging bull. Um, I was the target. I was always the one she went to. It started with the belittling, the cussing me out, the dumb, the stupid, the bitch, the hoe, the I'll kill you, or just stuff like that. So as a kid, you're like, whoa, okay, that hurt my feelings. So now you start to build this rage. But this is my parent. Who can I release this to? So I started writing. I started writing in my journal. Each time I got cussed out, I started writing. It made me very, very angry. So it went from the belittling into the cursing at me to the hitting, the black eyes, the busted lips. I've been hit over the head with box fans. I've had PlayStations thrown at me. I've been just square punched in the face. I
By
had to go to
mom?
my mom. I had to go to school. I always got threatened. If anybody asks what happened and you tell them, I'll beat your ass. So I'm at school with a black eye and a busted lip. Of course, teachers are going to want to know, why is this kid at school? Well, tell them you failed. These people aren't stupid. I got blood clots in my cornea, and I have a lip this big. There's no way. So CPS eventually got involved. She will lie. Oh, she tried to fight me, or blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, please help me. I'm silently crying out, please help me, please help me. They will write it off. The abuse got worse. The last encounter that I could remember that really made me want to get away from my mom, I was 17, and she had an issue with a boyfriend. I guess I asked her a question at the wrong time. I got hit in the top of my head with a stiletto, instantly split my crown, and then she came over my face 2 inches from my temple and split my face. My neighbors had always heard the abuse. So when I knocked on her door, they let me in. They called the police. They gave me cold towels. My face was so open and raw that they were able to check my blood sugar from the wound on my face. They got me to the hospital. My granddad took me, which was her dad. I'd never seen a grown man cry before. So that's how I knew it was really bad. They tried to get me to call her to the hospital and lock her up for first degree murder because she was 2 inches away from my temple. That confused me because that's my mom. If she goes to jail, then who am I going to have? So I had to deal with it. They had to cut my hair and stitch my head up at the top. They sent me home, and I was like, I can't go back. I can't go back. This time I'm 17 now. So the rage is built up from the age of 5 to 17. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm ready to strike and kill. I'm ready to strike and kill. This is not the way you should feel about your mom. But I suppressed so much of the emotion, I didn't know how to deal with it outside of writing. So I lived with my grandmother at that time. That really divided the family. It was like, she's my child. I can do what I want. And family is like, no matter what the case is, you never harm your child this way. So that put me in a vulnerable space to start to look for love in the wrong places and the wrong people. I had my very first relationship with the guy who was a little older than me. Started out great. I was going to school. He was working. He had a place. I lived with my grandma. It was fun. My first relationship. I'm in college. He's cute. He's tall. He's handsome. Everything is going well. One day my phone broke, and he gave me his spare phone. And he's like, if this number called, don't answer it. So I'm not thinking anything of it. Just naive, 18, thinking I'm grown. I got a little freedom. And it was just calling and calling and calling. So I didn't answer it like he asked me to. So I went to his house after school, and that number called his phone, the phone that his personal phone. So I'm like, this number he told me not to answer on this phone, but that was calling his phone. And then I see the name pop up, Kiana. So I was like, oh, okay. I started putting two and two together. So I stayed away for a few days. When I did go back, I got ready to go back and get my things because I knew at the moment, she know me, ain't no use in going back and forth. This time me and Kiana were face to face. So she's going off on me. I'm confused. I'm mad at her because I'm like, hey, chill out. Like, he lying to both of us. Don't fight me. We need to be trying to figure out what he got going on. I don't want to hear that. And how long have you been here? And blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to leave. This man is literally telling us both to stay. So now I'm mad. Why would I stay here? This woman is here in the house that I sleep in with you. I'm ready to go. So this is when he jacks me up. He's 6'6", I'm 5'5". So I'm like, put me down. He said, I told you to calm your ass down and don't go nowhere. And she's fighting on him, and I'm fighting on him, put me down. And she's like, well, how long have you been with him? I've been with him for 2 years. And she's 2 years. I've been with him a year. So now I'm really mad. So I'm like, okay, you got caught. You jacking me up. You holding me against my will. I'm pissed off. So she leaves. So I'm going in the closet to get stuff. She comes back, walks in the house, in our bedroom, goes in the closet. He had hid her stuff in the closet. So at this time, I'm furious. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm walking. I'm so upset, trying to not to fight back. He comes outside. He grabs me. Like I said, I'm really little compared to this guy. He takes me back, and he pins me on the wall like a child. And he looks at me. He laughs. And he was like, well, bitch, you need me. You ain't going nowhere. I told you not to leave. And he beat me in my face. So I punched him. When I punched him, he dropped me. So when he dropped me, I sprained my ankle. I don't know where I got the strength from. I got up and I left. I went home and I cried because what was my mom going to do? What was she going to do? She saw me come into the house with a bloody face. She didn't say anything. She didn't offer help. Called the police. They took pictures. Police report number. They had video footage from the neighborhood. They never pursued him. 2 weeks later, I went to the convenience store and I saw him there. So I automatically turned around. And he walks behind me and he was like, you just going to ignore me? You just left your stuff? I was like, I don't need the stuff. If I come get it, I'm coming with the police. Do you bit me in my face? Like, look in my face. I'm sorry, I'm mad. And so he grabs me. When he grabs me, he was like, you hear me talking to you? I spit on him. It was a reaction. It was like, don't do that. So the people in the store are like, oh, crap, they're about to fight. I'm like, I'm not about to fight him. Let me out this store. So he walks behind me. He yanks me. And he was like, you spit on me, bitch. And he just started punching me in the face, like boxing me. And all I could remember was trying to get up and couldn't breathe. And I'm trying to grab, but every time he's blow, I'm going back. So I end up backing up into a car. And next thing you know, I couldn't breathe. I felt hands around my neck. And I just remember slowly going out of conscious, but I hear this woman screaming at the top of her lungs, please let her go. Please let her go. You're going to kill her. Please let her go. He let me go. And just that experience of regaining consciousness, I've never been that confused in my life. My ears were ringing. I could barely gain my vision. I could barely stand straight, but when I caught my breath and I looked around, it was the embarrassment on top of the near-death experience, on top of the fact that this man just got away. He just got away. So my neighbors saw me. They took me home again, called the police. We're like, this happened before. We just filed a report. Why won't y'all lock this man up? Years went by. I'm grown now. I get into my first real relationship with my first child's father. Started out good. He had a stable job. I had a job. I was going to college. Everything was great. We moved in together. And the cheating started. As she stated, addressing the cheating pisses them off. Just tell the truth because I see the evidence. So he decides that he wants to show it in front of his friends and mauled me across the face. I still have a permanent gash on my eyebrow to this day from that. And it's hard to deal with it because that's my child's father.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
What do...
I can laugh about it now. I don't know.
Like, folks is just like,
I caught you, but you want to beat me up. That's crazy. Yes. At
okay,
that time, I didn't have any family, so I dealt with it. I'm 19 years old. I don't have my mom. My relationship with my dad is up in the air because of my mom, and that's all I have. It's just my grandparents and my mom, and it kind of put me in a place of isolation. So now I'm back to feeling that I'm alone. What am I gonna do? Nobody else loves me. Where am I gonna go? Where am I gonna live? I can't go back home to mom. I can't go home to dad. Deal with it, because at home the abuse was still going on. It was the verbal abuse. It was the being called bitches and hoes. I didn't want to deal with it. So it was like, I'd just rather take the blow and get over it than to be called a bitch or a hoe, which is sad. So he apologized and he started doing right again. So I'm like, okay, we're doing better. No more fighting. This time, 2 extra years went by, and I got pregnant. Okay, we're happy. The baby is here, and the pressure of being parents so young really made us clash. And then to find out that my first child was autistic. So I don't know how to be a woman. I don't know how to be a mother. He's an immature 20-year-old. We have grown apart because of the history of the abuse and my upbringing and his upbringing. So now we have this child that we don't know what to do with. So I had to be a woman. I had to learn how to be a mom. He just decided that he didn't want anything to do with being a father, which was tough on me. I'm 23. I have a disabled kid. I got all this stuff being thrown at me. He has to go to this therapy and he has to go to that therapy, but I have to be at work this day and I have to be at school on this day. And he has a father that I'm living with who just decides that I'm just going to take myself out the equation. I'm just going to go to work and you figure it out. So we really start to clash because it's like, I'm tired, dude. I don't know what else to do. I had to drop out of school. I'm sacrificing jobs and, following through with my career because I chose to put my kid first. Again, trying to get mom involved, help me, please, can me and grandbaby stay here in your extra room? I'll pay bills. It was always no. You can't stay here. Well, I gotta ask my boyfriend. Or okay, so I have to suck it up.
you
This is
my
when
mama.
that hurt. On top of me being your firstborn, this is your firstborn grandson. So this is kind of like deal with the abuse. You're grown, figure it out. This is when I came up with a plan. I'm like, you got to get out this relationship. So I started saving money. I got a cash car. I had to let people in. I had to let people know this is what's going on. I need your help. I need you to watch my baby because I'm gonna have to run for it. And that day came. It was, he just antagonized me every day. Oh, you're packing your stuff. You ain't going nowhere. You need me. Well, where you gonna go? You ain't got nowhere to live. Or I'll get them to take my baby from me. Just wherever he could. At that point, I was numb. It was kind of like whatever. You want a reaction? I'm numb now. So I moved out, and I moved out for a few days, but I had to come back because I was moving in phases. And the last time I saw him, he was like, I was like, you gonna come home, we're gonna be gone. And he looked at me and he laughed. And we got into a fight the next morning. When I was officially packing up my last batch, he tried to snatch the baby out of my hand. And by instinct, I'm like, don't snatch him. If you want him, ask for the baby. He just slapped me with the baby in my hand. And I just remember seeing stars. And I'm holding my baby because I'm like, I could fall. This was the first time my mom got involved. I called my mom, and it scared me being that calm. I was like, Mom, he hit me with the baby in my hand. Please come get him or come get me. So my mom called him. He was like, yeah, I slapped the shit out of her. My mom then pulled up in like 5 minutes. So I was like, okay, come through. This help me. So they got the baby. They helped me. Him and my stepdad actually got to fight. I was kind of like, yay, finally. I'm a woman. I can't fight this man, which I wouldn't result to violence. But, you're finally standing up for me.
Yeah.
They came through for their little amount of time, and then it was back to the normal routine of being on my own, which was very lonely for me. Trying to figure out now I'm a single mom with no family. and lost jobs, and we're house to house, and we're here and there. And I got tired. I was just like, God, please, it's not just me anymore. I have to figure out how to create a stable environment for me and my child, not only for me and my child, but me and my autistic child. Change really throws everything off with them. So 3 years went by, and I'm sorry, y'all might get pump. 3 years went by, me being single, and I met this older guy. At the time, I was 25, and he was 35 when I met him. We actually met at work. We didn't start dating till after I left the job. Very charming, caught my attention. I really like intellectuality. I like to learn. It was very fun for me dating an older guy. It was, being able to have conversations that were meaningful, being able to teach me some stuff. I really grasped to him. I went into it very steady because of the past abusive relationships that I had. So I was really afraid. But he kind of like held my hand through it. He didn't rush me into anything. He was always there. He was there for my son. He kind of exposed me to some stuff I never seen before. Everything was very gentle. We moved in. Everything is great. He's teaching me how to save money, how to budget money, how to be with the partner, how to pay bills with the partner. I'm like, okay, I like this. This is new for me. I can get used to this. First year went by. It started out with a lot of arguing, and I kind of self-sabotaged myself because I was like, well, maybe it's your fault because you're not used to this. Maybe you were causing an abruption in the relationship because you're not used to having someone that care about you. So, just a bunch of arguing, petty stuff. It wasn't anything that harmed me or harmed him. Second year is when it started to get hurtful. And I'm like, okay, I've invested a lot into this relationship. I'm here now, but you know better, Ocean. Couples argue, but listen to what he's saying to you. Listen, think about the ways he's making you feel. And I just remember packing up my stuff. I called my aunt, and she was like, come on to Texas. Bring the baby. Don't worry about nothing. Just bring your car. And I was like, I don't have a car right now, Auntie. She said, okay, well, I'll buy your bus ticket. Bought my bus ticket. And he came home, and he just broke down. Yo, you leaving me? And we can work it out, and we can fix it. And I fell for it. Okay, we can try. Everything was great, good, fine. We made it to the third year, and we still had arguing here and there, which wasn't healthy. And I remember, finding out that I was pregnant. And I remember us talking about a family, and at first he was like, "Yeah, let's get married. I could have another baby." At the time, he had a 14-year-old daughter. But as the relationship progressed, he was kind of like, I don't think I want any more kids. And I was able to compromise with it and understand because, she is 14. I do have a 5-year-old. That's a lot starting over at such a big age. That's the way I perceive it, not knowing the whole time that he had 4 of the children, about 4 of the women, because I was only told about this one child, only because she lived in Memphis. I found this out the day that I found out I was pregnant. I was happy, he wasn't. And I had a doctor's appointment to have an EGD. And they're like, you're pregnant. So I'm like, yay. So I called him back. And he was like, hello, you had the surgery? And I'm like, no, I didn't have a surgery. And he just held the phone. He was like, I'm on my way back. And I got in the car. He was like, you pregnant? I was like, yeah. He was like, I knew it. I was like, what this mean? You don't seem happy. Now I'm on eggshells because I'm like, I don't want to have another baby by a man that don't want the baby. But I don't believe in abortion. So we went home and he had an attitude. He's slamming the keys. He's walking around the house. And I'm just like, what the hell? So I'm sitting here with this ultrasound picture, now feeling bittersweet about it. I'm happy to be having another baby because this is what I wanted, but I can't make a man want to be involved.
Right. You can't make your partner happy.
He came back home, and we went to bed. It was awkward. The next morning, I just prayed about it, brushed it off. I woke up, I'm excited. And he was just like, I have to tell you something. My heart started racing. I'm like, oh, hell, he cheated on me. What's going on? He was like, I have other children. And I just remember jumping up like, children? Like multiple? Yes. I was like, how many? 4. I must have damn lost it. I was like 4 children. I had so many questions. I was mad. I broke down crying. I'm just like, what the? I was so confused. I've never been that confused in my life. And I sat in the bathroom on the floor for like 30 minutes, just bawling my eyes out. Like, I've been with you for 3 years. How could I not know this? That's when the abuse started. It started with ultimatums. Well, I told you about my kids, so you should be happy. So now I'm mad. I'm like, I should be happy. Like, nigga, you lied to me 3 years. I'm like, what if I lied to you about having other children? I'll be every bitch and hoe and whatever under the sun. I'm mad now. Excuse my French, but this how I'm going off because I'm pissed off. And so I'm asking questions. I'm like, okay, well, what about this one? What about them? It was the same story. Well, I tried to make it work, and we tried to have a baby, and this one left, and this one. I was like, this not adding up to me. You mean to tell me that every single woman you slept with wanted to bury your child and do it alone? I don't think that's a problem. You need to be honest with me. Now he's upset because he doesn't want to take the accountability and tell the truth. So every day I'm asking him, you're not finna rock my world like this and think you're finna get away with it. How old is this one? How old is that one? Where the mom at? What happened? Why you lie to me? Why you knock me up and get me pregnant knowing what I went through with my first child's father? I don't lay up to have children for fun. Now I have to restructure my life because now I'm possibly going to be a single mother of 2. And you just get to make the babies and you out of there. So every time I tried to dig deep, he got mad. So now I'm thinking of a plan. But this was a little harder because now I got a baby on the way. I was very sick with this baby. I'm diabetic. And I experienced something called HG. It's a hormone overgrowth. I couldn't drink water. I was very frail. I lost 100 pounds. I was very weak. I couldn't work. Couldn't take care of my child. Couldn't take care of myself. So I had to depend on this man. And it ate me up inside because, like I said, I didn't have any family or friends to depend on. At this time, I was so mad, I moved out. I got an apartment I had for about 6 months until the HG really took over my body. I almost became a vegetable. So he, all of a sudden, I don't want you to die and I'll be there. And I had to trust it. I had to trust God through this process as well because I knew this man was a manipulative liar. But I knew at the same time that I couldn't sit here and just die because I had too much pride. I had to go through the motions. I had to go through their process. So I ended up having to move back in with him. Everything was pretty good. I didn't put too much faith into it because I knew my plan. He's just doing what he has to do to try to assure me so that I would leave again. So when he found out I got a better job, I made more money. That was the first thing that made him upset. My business started taking out for a little bit more. I'm cheating with everybody, whether it's a man or a woman. If I'm at a business meeting, he's blowing on my phone. If I'm somewhere where I don't have a signal, what are you doing? Now it's me cheating. Okay, I'm cheating on you pregnant. Whatever makes you, whatever floats your boat. I did a maternity shoot. I'm sleeping with a photographer. My Facebook is being stalked by a ghost page. Just really, really getting under my skin, and I had to deal with it. So, by this time, he's getting upset that I'm ignoring him. And we had a fight a few days before Christmas. He took vacuum trash, dumped it over my head, and called me a bitch. And I'm sitting at my desk working. So I'm upset. I get up, I clean it off, and I spit on him. I said, since I'm a bitch, this is what bitches do. Now he's mad. He gets up, he throws me into the Christmas tree. Mind you, I'm carrying a baby. He's just slugging me around the house like a rag doll. I can't really fight him. This man is bigger than me. I'm pregnant. I'm frail and fragile right now. So I'm just kicking and screaming, kicking and screaming. I'm just being drugged all through the apartment. Next thing you know, he folds my arm behind my back, but turns me this way, pushes me to the couch, and put a loaded gun in my head. At that moment, I knew. I was like, Ocean, you got to figure something out. I know that you don't have nobody, but you got to figure it out. I just remember getting away, hopping in my car, calling my manager, like, I really need my job, but this is what just happened. I need to take the day off. Then I called the police. I was like, I am balling down 385 towards Winchester. I don't feel safe at home. I told them what happened. I was like, please don't pull me over. The policeman met me at CVS on Winchester. They took the police report per usual. Nothing ever happens after that. So I stayed away a few days in the rain. I did get in contact with my grandmother, which was my mom's mom. Thank God she welcomed us with open arms. She let me and my baby stay there. I got the important things that we needed, and I worked from there until I could figure it out. Unfortunately, I had to go back home. It made everything awkward, but I was more prepared this time. That's when I came up with the plan. Open the bank account, get the second phone, pack stuff in your car. I just started taking important documents and I put it in this like chest. I put it in my baby's room. I just started taking it just just out of nowhere. Like Ocean, put this here, move this here, stuff that I hadn't touched in years. So I put it up, and like I said, every day it was just something. To the point I was numb. I couldn't argue anymore. I couldn't fight anymore. And we had a third bedroom, which was our office. I worked from 4 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. So I just would log off and sleep in the office. My kids' room was across by the time I had the baby. And that kind of what kept me grounded and have substance. I had my children, and I knew that no pain is in vain. I'm going through this for a reason, but we'll make it out. But my kids really soothed me having to go through that. And I just remember one morning I woke up and he kicked the door in because I was locked myself in the room. You're just not going to talk to me. And I've been up all night and you're in here asleep. And I just woke up and I just looked at him and I just got up. And I'm just thinking about all the stuff that I endured with this guy. You upset because you've been ignored. I have been accused of sleeping with my friend. I've been accused of all types of stuff. If I would go to a friend's house or get a hotel because I didn't want to fight, I would cheat. Just anything. My phone has been cut off. Money has been stolen from me. I've been locked in the house. My phone has been taken. This particular morning, I was just like, there's nothing to talk about. I'm just gonna leave. So he's following me through the house, blocking entrance and exits. I put my oldest son in the shower. And then I got in. He turned the water tank off so we couldn't take a shower. My baby tried to pee. He snatched him off the toilet. I was trying to breastfeed my baby. He knocked the milk over that I pumped. I'm putting on my shoes. He snatches the shoes off. I just put on another pair. At this point, I'm just like, Ocean, you just got to take what you got on your back and go. This man not going to let you get nothing. And he went from crying, I'm just so afraid you're going to leave me. And I was like, don't be afraid. I am leaving. When I said that, now it's, well, where you gonna go, bitch? You ain't got shit, and don't nobody give a fuck about you. That's why I got another woman. I said, thank God. Hopefully, hopefully she can make you get over me. Now he's upset because I'm not crying and I'm not breaking down. He's not able to get in my head anymore. So again, he's blocking me from the door, and I'm holding my kids, and I was just like, please let us out the house. He was like, well, fuck you, bitch, and spit on me, and I smiled, and then my oldest is autistic, so he's kind of la la land. He's not really knowing what's going on. He pushes him out the door. When he pushed him, my maternal instinct kicked in. And I was just like, the kids ain't got nothing to do with this. And I just punched him in the face. It just came out of nowhere. Because now you're hurting my children. You're already hurting me. My baby, I had to just throw him in the car. I couldn't put them in seatbelts or nothing. He jumped on the hood of the car. And I drove off. I'm not going to stop. You put yourself in this predicament. I drove to the police station. By the time I made it to the police station, they were really nice. They gave my kids breakfast. They gave us blankets. He was calling into the police station as I was making a report. So he's telling them a whole different story. But the sergeant is like, we got her proof. We got her evidence. Cancel the call. At this time, that was it. My life changed. I was just riding around Memphis. I didn't have nowhere to go. I just had my kids and what I had in my car. And I called my friends to no avail. I couldn't call my mom because we hadn't talked in a year. So I had to depend on one particular friend, which was really tough. I stayed with her for about a month. Our friendship ended up souring because she didn't understand the concept that abuse is not commercial. The way you see it on TV is not the way you experience it in real life. And because I kept myself together and held myself together those 5 weeks doesn't mean I wasn't suffering. And to me, I felt like she wasn't a friend. She didn't once ask how I was feeling. Did I need anything? Was I okay? And I still offered, do you need money for me staying here? She assured me that everything was okay until I moved. It was a different story. So it's kind of like I was going through a whole nother heartbreak of the fact that you feel like my domestic violence situation was a situation for me to escape responsibility and just live in your house for free after being kicked out of my home with my children. I'm still going through a case with this man at the moment. It's been over a year since I've talked to him. I did try to get in contact with him a few times in reference to our child because I am moving out of state and I want to let him know, give him the opportunity to, we can do a parenting plan, do child support, we can sign his rights over. But I tried to be the adult about it. When he found out I was married, him and the girlfriend called the police. They put 2 aggravated assault charges on me. And because of the type of charge it is, being aggravated and being accused of having a deadly weapon, I had to go to jail for 3 days. I was bonded out.
Time out. Flag on the play. How he called the police on you for aggravated assault, and you ain't talked to.
I'm still confused about it, but I'm still an open case. I have one more court date. Chances are that it's going to be closed because they don't have evidence, and they don't have the witnesses that they claim that they have. No one's ever showed up to court, but I did have to go to jail for that. He claimed that I shot at them. Then in another affidavit, they were stabbed. This man has just been getting away with lying to the police. That's why he feels comfortable with doing it.
Who the fuck do this nigga? Excuse my French, but who the fuck do this nigga know at MPD?
He has a cousin. He was a chief. He
Okay.
does. So now it's a civil matter. I actually have a pending lawsuit against the state for the domestic department bureau for not following through. I also have a lawsuit against the apartment complex when I got the restraining order. He was supposed to be evacuated immediately. They didn't put him out, which left me and my kids homeless. In return, God has been really good. I did meet my husband. My children are happy and healthy. We have a baby on the way. Has this been an inconvenience? Yes. But this only makes my testimony larger. This is only going to be able to help me help people in the long run. I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. I love advocating. I put my best foot forward in finding the resources that I need for the nonprofit or reaching out. So opportunities like this really gets my voice heard, and to let people like Ms. DeEricka know that you aren't alone. There are people out there who can help you. There are people out there who won't embarrass you. Um, there are people out there who can speak for you when you feel like you can't speak. Was I always this way? Hell no. But now I'm just like, fight for your right. Nigga, what? I don't care. Domestic violence, who? I'll wear my purple ribbon. God has a purpose for me, and there's a purpose for your pain. And nothing that we go through is in vain. And you just have to have balance in life. Just as much as you want the good, you have to embrace the bad. So I'm a proud survivor. I have nothing to be afraid of. This journey has been beautiful for me. I have made it through such a recovery before 30. I'll be 30 in December, so I'm very proud of myself. And I pray to God that the butterfly effect goes far. I really enjoy helping those in need, and it's just having sources of comfort and knowing that that you can turn to a stranger sometimes. It's that's okay.
Yeah. Wow. We gonna go to break. We gonna go to break. You listening to her? Before we go to break, if you got nothing else from that, attempt to say something. Reach out to the butterfly effect. Like, reach out to somebody if you can't. Like, there are people here or there are people there that'll, advocate and talk for you. Wow. We'll be right back with more Herc's World. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Herc's World. I am your girlfriend's favorite podcast host, Big Herc. And if she says I'm not, that hoe's a liar. We're talking domestic violence today. We just heard a compelling story from Ocean. DeEricka let's hear your. We didn't even call them stories, and let's hear your testimony of how you were involved and you got out this situation. So the floor is yours.
Okay, so as I mentioned before, when I was introducing myself, I was in a relationship before my son's dad. It was a relationship I was in love. I was in love. I mean, he was older than me, and I'm not gonna say he wasn't in love, because I still to this day, even though we're not together and things happen, I do feel like he was in love with me. But it was a good relationship. Things happened. Toward the end, I did find out he was married the entire 3.5 years we were together. And he moved away. I kind of feel like he abandoned me, because while he was here, everything was good, but then he just up and left. So I became very vulnerable. My heart was broken. All the while we were going through our situation, I fell asleep behind the wheel, and had a car accident. Tore my car up. It was terrible. I couldn't get in contact with him. But nonetheless, we broke up. And again, I was vulnerable. My heart was broken. I couldn't figure out, what was happening. I was like, what was going on? So I slid in my son's dad DM. I'm just going to be honest about that. I slid in his DM, hit him with the "oh, hey, handsome," and all of that. And it just went from there. Again, it was like 2 weeks after I was out of my situation before him. And everything was okay. I kind of laid out everything that happened in my last relationship, and what he didn't do or what he did to me that hurt me, and this and that. And I feel like my son's dad kind of played on it. It was like, even though he probably didn't think like, hey, she's vulnerable, but I was telling him all this information, which I probably should have. I should have just let him do whatever he was going to do on his own. And I feel like just letting him know everything that wasn't going on, I feel like that was kind of the reason why he was doing everything. So I kind of was like, okay, I'm feeling that void. I'm thinking I'm feeling that void, but I'm really not. It was bad from the beginning. I found out he was cheating in the beginning before my son even came. But again, I was very vulnerable. So I was trying to fill that void that somebody, left.
Yeah.
So, I let him in. I was like, okay, well, I'm calling girls. I mean, I'm doing my big one, okay? I'm just doing. I'm calling girls. They're like, I'm not gonna stop talking to him until he tell me, And I'm just like, oh, really? So I'm threatening people. I'm like, I'm coming to your job. I'm doing all of these, all for somebody that is showing me that, this is not it. So time passed, and we did a lot of bickering. Another baby came up, or a child came up before mine. And we were already together when this situation came up. So I was like, okay, well, maybe he didn't make this baby on me. I'm sitting up counting. I'm like, okay, we got together in this month and this month. So she said it happened then. So I'm like, okay, it didn't happen on me. So I let it slide. So the entire time is passing, I'm having issues with this same girl, along with other females as well. I get in his truck. It's a baby car seat in the back seat. I don't even have a child yet. The other baby is not here yet. The baby she's pregnant with, that baby's not even here yet. But it was a car seat in his back seat. So I'm like, whose car seat is that? He like, that's my niece's. And now by this time, his niece is too big to be in a car seat. So I'm knowing it's a lie. I'm like, that is not. So go through the phone, which is always a bad idea. I see it's a girl, she's texting him, I need the car seat out of your truck. We've been running around all day and I need the car seat. I left it in your truck. So I'm like, okay. So here we go again. He's like, that's not, she's lying. But I'm like, what reason would she have to be hounding you about a car seat in your truck? That doesn't even make sense. Like that's a crazy story to make up. I'm just gonna say, hey, I left the car seat, but it's a car seat in your back seat. So somebody's been in here. So time passed. I'm still there. And I'm not thinking it's anything because it's the beginning. So I'm thinking like, okay, things can change. Things can change. So we started passing leaks. It wasn't really anything serious, I felt like at the time. But now that it's over, I'm like, yeah, it should have been done then. Because it was just petty little leaks here and there. He would hit me and I would hit him back, defending myself. And it didn't get serious until after my son got here. We were doing our little petty fighting, arguing. Once I got pregnant, I was like, look, I don't want to do this. I don't want my son seeing this. I don't want this hindering the relationship we should have for this child that we created. He wanted the child. He's happy. He's like, okay, we can fix it. This, we don't have to do this. But for him, it didn't change. For me, it did. I stopped fighting back. I stopped hitting him because I told myself that I didn't want my son, seeing us fight like that. So I decided I wasn't going to fight anymore. And I was just going to try to make it work, I should say. Once my son got here, it was over. It was over. Once my son got here, it was this chick after this chick. He's not working anymore. I'm working from sun up to sundown. I was an assistant manager at Rent a Center. So I was working from 8 o'clock in the morning to almost 8 o'clock at night. He would be driving my car late to pick me up, late to pick my son up from where he is. And although it wasn't a big deal, it was for me. I was ready to go home. I've been at work all day. You riding around joyriding. You don't have a job. You're lying saying you're looking for a job. But then things going on, and I'm noticing that you've been at this person's house. You've been all in Mississippi, where you're from. You just joyriding in my car. You bring it back. I don't have no gas. So I'm pissed. I'm always pissed. But me trying to make sure things stay copacetic for my son, I'm not really fighting. Most of the time we were fighting, it was for him cheating. Like you don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, and you're just cheating. Like I would leave my son at home. I don't know why I decided to have this bright idea to not have my son go to childcare until he could talk. While he stayed at home with his dad all day, they played the game. You weren't looking for a job. You weren't doing anything. I would get home. My house is nasty. You hadn't made any food. What have my baby ate today? Oh, I fed him some chips. Some chips, nigga. My baby is too. He don't just want to eat no chips, pamper saggy, just all type of stuff. So I'm, like I said, I'm pissed every day. And like I said, it was always about cheating. We arguing. Why you going through my phone? We had our phones on the same phone bill. So I would wake up in the morning, go in the bathroom, lock myself in the bathroom so that I can look at the bill and see what numbers were on the bill. I will be in the bathroom blocking numbers from his phone, and next thing I know, he coming in beating on the door. What the fuck are you doing to my phone? I'm like, so you just gonna come snitch on yourself and say that you just woke up and wanted to send a good morning text, and it didn't go through. So I'm like, who the hell is this? Who is this? Who is all these bitches that you are talking to while you're living in my house? You're not paying a bill. You're not doing anything for me, anything for your son. You think because you're babysitting that is something, but it's nothing. You're not doing anything. You're taking pictures. I found pictures of him. He's taking pictures of himself on my couch telling people that he chilling at home. He off today. He off today. You off every day. You off every single day. You're not doing anything. I'm not seeing any paperwork. You didn't go to staff line. You didn't go to select staffing. You didn't do anything. Like
technically be hiring every day, don't they?
They hire every day. They hire every day. You don't wanna you don't wanna do anything. You just wanna mooch and you wanna leech. And I'm paying all the bills. Now this is my first apartment. This is the first time I've been out of my mom's house. He actually was basically living in my mom's house with us. And things will go on, while we were there. I know when I was pregnant, we were tussling about the new baby, the baby mama. He pushed me down the steps. I was pregnant. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Once we moved, like I said, it got crazy. It got crazy.
What the fuck be wrong? What the fuck is wrong with these niggas putting their hands on pregnant women?
It's never about you being pregnant. They don't care. It's like I can honestly say I won't say I'm completely innocent because I passed leaks back. I had to defend myself. And my mouth alone, like I don't have to hit you.
There's the mouth stuff ain't no excuse to put your hands on nobody.
No, like because
it's no excuse. That's what I'm saying. It's no excuse. It would be where we wouldn't even be passing leaks. We would just be arguing, and my mouth would get, because I'm like, nigga, you got me fucked up.
Man,
you got me all the way fucked up.
Unless you just said, hey, nigga, your dick is the size of a 3-year-old, it ain't too much shit I want to put my hands on you for. Like,
it's no excuse. It's no excuse. He would get drunk off them beers, let me tell you. Them beers or whatever liquor he would decide to drink, and everything would go haywire. I know my birthday, 2017. We went out. I had asked my co-workers, everybody come out. My best friend came. We went to, I want to say it was Me Pueblo. It was right on Hex Cross in that shopping center. We go in. Let me tell y'all, I got on a little outfit. It's not even, when I go back and look at the pictures, it's not even anything for you to be jealous about. It's nothing to be jealous about. We go. Everything is cool. Me and my best friend, we on the dance floor, we dancing, we drinking, we having a good time. Because I invite these people, but really only my best friend and like 2 of my coworkers came, which was cool with me, but we was having a good time. He never got up to come dance with me, never got up to do anything. He just sat there the entire time, watched me with this. It was a look like, bitch, when you get done, it's over with for you. It's over with. He's steady drinking, but I'm having a good time. It's my birthday. The DJ is constantly saying happy birthday, DeEricka, the birthday girl. That's making him even more mad. That's making him even more pissed off because now he feel like the DJ want me. And he doing his job. Security, by this time he acting a fool, like he back to the table. I try to dance with him. I'm thinking everything is cool, but the entire time I'm dancing, he just standing there watching the security guard, telling us that they was gonna kill him. Well, they were gonna kill you or throw you out because you were acting a goddamn fool. You were acting a fool. So yes, they're watching you. I'm having a good time. They know you with me, but they trying to figure out why the hell you mad. What are you mad about?
If we're being honest, like if I go anywhere and there are women shaking ass on me, I'm not gonna be but that's just me. I can't speak for other people, but if you shaking ass on me, right, I ain't got no reason to be mad. It's ass on me.
Okay, right. What you mad about? I go to the bathroom. I'm in there getting myself together. My best friend come in. She's like, bitch, we gotta go. I'm like, well, what's happening? She said, he out there acting a damn fool. He talking shit. He cursing. It's kids here, excuse me. But he acting a fool. She said, we gotta go. I'm like, girl, what the hell is going on? By this time, I'm still not understanding what's happening because I'm having such a good time. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on. She was like, we gotta go. So I go out. He's sitting at the table like he's pissed. He pissed. I still don't know. I'm like, what's wrong with you? What's happening right here? Like, he's like, I don't give a fuck. It's time to go. Bitch, you need to get your shit. It's time. I'm like, oh, okay. Now we in my car now. We're in my car. He done got my keys. Went outside. Like, my crew, let's go. So I'm like, no. My friend is still sitting here. She got a whole drink. And I'm like, let me wait on my friend. She drinking. She get done. We're on the way out. He on the way back in. He like, bitch, I was on the way to come get you. You had no, what the fuck you still sitting in there for? I don't give a fuck that your friend still got. I'm like, okay, I don't know what's happening. We get in the car. We arguing on the way home. We only lived about 5 minutes from the restaurant. Get in there. I lived in Ashland Lakes. And over there, it's kind of like a loft. You go up the steps, and then you're in your apartment. It was like, once we got up the steps, bitch, you showing out. We arguing. We going back and forth. He charged at me. I think the fan was in the living room because I busted him across his head with my box fan. And it was on from there. We was running through the apartment. We were throwing things, fighting. I'm on the floor in fetal position. He's just going in on me. He going in, he grabbing my arms, he scratching my face, he doing everything. Now it's my birthday. It's my birthday. So I'm like, what's happening? Thank God my son wasn't there. He was with the babysitter, of course. But it was crazy. My neighbor is knocking on the door. I'm not going to the door because I'm up there fighting. My neighbor's just knocking on the door. She was knocking on the wall at first. She was knocking on the wall at first, and then she just came knocking on my door. But I didn't go down. I didn't go down there and open the door. I never called the police on him. He actually called the police on me twice. Once everything was over, he left. Luckily, he had a car. It was raggedy as hell, so it could only get him so far. He got in the car. He left. I'm assuming he called his mom and daddy. So they ended up calling me like, what the hell? Why you let him just leave? Well, I said, well, your son was whooping my ass. He was whooping my ass. And what are y'all going to do? Y'all calling me, asking me why the hell I let him leave, why I didn't leave the club, and that's his woman. I should have left when he said it was time to go. Well, no, it was my damn birthday. It was my whole
family toxic.
So once it was over, I went to bed. I didn't call anybody. I called my best friend. I told her what had happened. I went to sleep. The next day was the Southern Heritage Classic Parade in Orange Mound. So I went to the parade. Face beat up, arms beat up, everything. I had shades on. I don't know why I thought that was going to cover everything else that was on my neck and on my arms, but I went to the parade. I'm walking through the crowd. People looking at me like, what the hell? I mean, I'm beat up. I'm scratched up. I get to where my family was. My little brother, he just looked at me. Is that you? Get them black ones, the other ones. My brother see me. He instantly started crying. So I'm like, ah. So they like, what the hell happened to you? Everybody looking at me. Once parade was over, they beat me. They beat me to my house. When I pulled up, my brother was climbing up my balcony. He was climbing up the balcony, knocking on my patio door like, I know your ass is in there. Open the door. But he wasn't. So I get there, I let them in, my cousin, everybody is there for support. Like, one thing I never did was shut my family out. Like, I might have never told them everything that was going on in my house, but I never like shut them out. I never got mad at them for not checking on me because nobody knew really what was going on to even check on me. I was still trying to keep a rapport with them. Just, hey, y'all, what y'all doing? But I would never say anything. Love you. Never say anything. And when they saw that, it was kind of like, oh, this nigga not doing shit for you. He laying up in here. He's not doing anything. So they drove. I begged them. Even after he had whooped my ass, I begged them. Y'all don't go down there. They're like, what's his address? I'm like, no, please don't go down there. I'm begging them. Y'all, like, it's so sad. Like, I was begging them, please don't. I don't know what's going to happen after this. I don't want nobody to come over here. I don't want anything. But they didn't listen. They drove to Holly Springs, Mississippi.
Holly Jolly. God damn, why you got to be from Holly Springs?
They drove down there, knocked on the front door, and pulled them out and did what had to be done. Because, just regardless if they knew what was going on or whether I was going to go back or not, the way I looked, it was horrendous. It was horrible. Like, I looked in the mirror at myself. I know I stood there for like 10 minutes just crying because I was like, look at your neck. Look at your arms. Just look at you. And as light as my skin is, you can see everything. You can see everything, every scratch, everywhere. He barely scratched. He barely hit. Everything was visible. Once that was over, he called me. Please come down here. I want to see my son. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And guess where my ass was? In Holly Springs. Girl, I was in Holly Springs. Sitting in there, family in there. I walk in, they all like, bitch, you should have left. You had no business. Not even acknowledging the fact that my face is beat up because your son, your nephew, your brother has whooped my ass because he was jealous on my birthday. But I went down there. He ended up coming back. I let him come back. But I knew then I had to kind of plan how I was going to get away. And I was there like 2 years after that. Like I said, many things, like my pots and pans had dents in them because he would be throwing them at me, kicking them around. I'm like, these are dishes, dude. Why are you throwing them at me? I mean, and like I said, everything was about cheating. Everything was about cheating. I stopped fighting. I know one time we got into it. I was down on the floor. I just dropped to the floor in fetal position because I knew that he was about to hit me. But he didn't hit me this time. He kicked me in the side of my face with a steel toe boot. Because, I mean, he from the country, so he wore them all day, every day. All day, every day. Kicked me in my face. And when I say it was almost immediate, it was immediate. The bruise came. His friend had came to pick him up. He came upstairs. His friend looked at him and said, "You did that? You did that to her?" And I'm just sitting there. I didn't have any ice or anything on my face at the time because I'm just like, people should see what you in here doing to me. I know I'm still here, and I can't even begin to tell anybody why I was still there. I was embarrassed. I had a child, and I tell people all the time, shit get hard when kids get involved. It gets hard. Like, you want your kids to have a 2-parent household, but you also want it to be healthy. You want it to be something that they can grow up and say, I had that. I had a good family. But my son, he wasn't seeing it. Like I said, he's autistic, so loud noises and things like that, arguing, he don't like it. And a lot of times he's like this all the time. We're just arguing, and I'm seeing him, but it's like, it's black. I'm in this situation. I don't know what the hell I'm doing in this situation. I don't know what to do. I don't really know how I'm going to get away from it, but I know I'm going to get away from it because this is not something that I should be going through. I didn't want to call and tell my mom. I didn't want to tell my dad. I was embarrassed. Like, they never felt like he was something that was good for me, but because I was saying like, oh no, he, they just went with it. My mom will always say, whatever is going on, when you get tired, you're going to get tired. You're gonna get tired. I mean, I was chased around my apartment with butcher knives, just throwing my phone off the balcony. I had a friend that stayed around the corner. I would always run over there. I'm like, I need to come over here. My son, I just need to be here. But he wasn't gone. So even when I went back to the house from being over there, he was still there. And it would start back up. I will be called bitches, hoes. I'm not a bitch. I'm not a hoe. I'm very smart. And he didn't like that. Like I said, my mouth, when I get the talking and when I get mad, I get real proper. Like I use big words and he didn't like this. So a lot of times that would make him want to, hit me because there was nothing else he could do. He couldn't come back at me with any of what I was giving him. So he had to do the next best thing he knew that would hurt me, which was putting his hands on me, kicking me. I'm lying to my best friend. I'm lying to people around me, telling people that bed rails fell on my face. And I'm thinking that people will believe me because I'm working at rental center. I'm working at rental center, so I'm like, okay, let me tell them the bed rails fell. And that's how I got bruised on the side of my face. I had got his sister a job. When I walked in the building, she looked in my face. She said, he did that to you? She was the only person I didn't have to lie to. She was the only person I didn't have to lie to because she already knew. And I just cried. I just cried because, like, why would your brother be doing this to me? I'm doing everything. I mean, he's going to jail all the time. I'm using my rent money. I'm getting him out of jail. I'm late on my rent. Everything, my car getting towed. And the only thing he can say to me is, I told you we should have took the GPS off the car. Like, no, I should have been able to be paying my car note. I should have been able to do it, but I can't because you're taking everything from me. You don't have a job, so I'm having to pay all the bills by myself, take care of a child by myself. I'm having to do everything out of car note, phone bill, rent. Like, everything is coming at me. But I just thank God for my village because I was always able to call on them. Even if they didn't know what was going on, they never asked me, well, why you need this? Or where's your money going? Like, my mom and dad never did that. They always were just like, okay. Because they knew that it just wasn't good. They didn't know what was going on, but they knew something was not right. I wasn't myself. It was like an outer body experience. And my breaking point is always funny to me when I say my breaking point because it may sound so small, but it's very big to me. It was his birthday, and he wanted me and my son to go sit down in Holly Springs for hours at a time. Now, my son is he don't like to sit for a while. He don't like crowds, loud noises, a lot of people. It's just, that's not him. He wanted me to sit in the barbershop for hours at a time with my son while you waited to get your haircut. You didn't have an appointment. You didn't have anything. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to act right. It's your birthday. Even though you whooped my ass on my birthday, I'm going to act right on yours. So I had in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. But I really didn't want to go. I was texting my ex. He texted me. He was like, I'm over here at your cousin's house because he was still talking to them. This is the ex before him. And he was like, I'm over here. You should come over here. He all like, bring my son with you. All this. I'm like, okay, I might come on. I might come on see you. Because like I said, it wasn't, our relationship. It was okay. So it wasn't really any hard feelings like after everything was done. But I was like, okay. So I'm texting. I'm like, well, I'm going to get us some clothes on. Just stay over there. I'm on the way. I didn't lock my phone. He ended up picking my phone up because he's like, why you in the bathroom texting so long? And I'm trying to go to the barbershop. Well, I don't give a damn what you trying to do. I really don't. So he got my phone, looked in it, and saw that I was texting him. He was like, oh, yeah, I told you, this the only nigga right here. This the only nigga right here that can really handle you any motherfucking way. You might as well go and be with him. I'm like, well, I just might. He took my phone and smashed it. He took my phone and smashed it to pieces on my kitchen floor. And when I tell you there was it, I said, oh, I'm done. I'm done. Because I told him my phone is very valuable. I have a son, you know. At the time, he wasn't diagnosed, but as his mom, I knew something was, wasn't right. He did have asthma, so he had flare-ups a lot. I had to carry a medicine bag. So I had to be prepared for if anything happened. And I always told him my phone is my life. My phone is my life. Anything can happen while I'm anywhere with this boy. And I need to be able to get in touch with anybody. And when he smashed my phone, I said, oh, motherfucker, you gotta go. You gotta go. I was like, I'm done. You just smashed my damn phone. I said, I have your son. What if something happens? Like, what if something happens? I can't call anybody. I can't do anything. So now I'm scrambling, I'm broke as hell too. Let me just say that. So I'm scrambling, trying to go get me a phone out of Walgreens. Put some minutes on it. Can't barely talk on it. Got to talk only when necessary. Like this can't be life. So him smashing my phone was my fucking breaking point, because I was like, no. You're not even hitting me right now. But when it comes time that I need to call somebody for my son, or I'm driving down the street and he's coughing just like uncontrollably, something is going on, I can't call because you smashed my phone. And that was it. I called my auntie and I called my cousin. They came over there. They stood in my living room. They actually was almost helping him pack his shit up. They was like, come on, get your stuff. Just go. It's no reason. And they came because I told them, I said, y'all, if don't nobody come, this is going to turn into something bad, because he knows at this point I'm done. I said, you can pack your thing. I sat on the couch. You know, he had took my cards. He took my bank cards out of my purse. So now you can smash my phone, and you took all my money from me. You took everything from me. You all down in Holly Springs with my goddamn cards. Now I got to call the banks. I got to call everybody to cancel my cards. Now, what if I need to buy my child something? I can't, because now my card's cut off. You just messed everything. You've messed everything up for me. So it's time for you to go. I can't do this anymore. I've looked in the mirror at myself long enough, and too many times, asking God to please remove me. And as small as it may seem, he knew, God knew, everybody knew that my phone was my life. So even if he took something as small as him smashing my phone for me to say I'm done, it was put there for me to say I was done. And I left him on his birthday. So I just felt like you whooped my ass on my birthday, I'm gonna do you one even better, because you need me. I don't need you. I don't need you at all. Everything that is going on in your life is me. I'm helping your family out. I'm letting people sleep on my couch because they can't pay bills. You know, I'm doing all of this for you, and you're not doing anything for me. I can't really say I was in love with him. Like I said, I was very, very vulnerable. And once I got pregnant and felt like I was in it and stuck, I didn't know, I was stagnant. I didn't know what to do. And once that incident on my birthday, chasing me around with a knife, like if you had caught me, like you probably would have killed me. I wouldn't be here. Today. So, you know, I just like to tell people, I know you don't want to tell anybody that somebody is beating on you or hitting you or even verbally abusing you, but somebody has to know. Somebody has to know, whether you're coming out saying, hey girl, he at home whooping my ass, or even if you just go to your friend's house, you may got scars and you just need to cry. Like, I just feel like somebody needs to know. And I was one of those ones to say, why don't you just leave? Why you staying so long? You know, but you say those things until you're actually in it. And it's one thing to just be in it, but when you in it and you got a kid, like it changes things. And I prayed. I prayed, and I asked God to show me how I could get out of this situation because I'm too pretty, I'm too smart, I'm too independent. You know, I have a child, I'm a mother, I have all these things to worry about other than to be letting you make me as ugly as you are, inside and out. And I didn't deserve any of that. And even to this day, I'm having to co-parent with this person. I'm having to still deal with this person. And I'm able to talk about it. I do feel like I have internalized a lot of my feelings about it because now when I talk about it, I don't cry. I can laugh about a lot of stuff. Um, but I'm also, like I said, I'm still able to tell people that it's okay. Like, even if you say you don't know what to do to get out of it, it's okay because a lot of us did not know what to do. And it's like, once you get tired, you know, I'm tired. I didn't care if it was your birthday, Christmas, I didn't care what it was. I had to be done. I had to be done. Now I'm a single mom. I'm doing this on my own. I'm not really getting anything from him. Um, I don't get breaks. I mean, I get them every blue moon, and we don't have blue moons. We don't have blue moons. I can ask, can you just get them? I've even, you know, I've tried to go so far as to say, well, if you want to come, if you want to come chill in my place and just spend some time with him, let me go. I'll go. Let me go to brunch. Let me go have 16 mimosas or something. Let me
Not
go do
16.
16 of them. 16 of them. Let me go. Like, I'm still like, it's just, I feel like he needs help as well. And I feel like abusers, they all need some type of help. Yeah, I'm not the one to help you in the way you need help, but we do have a child together. So I'm still trying to find ways to make sure my son can have a relationship with his dad, because whatever was going on between us, he has nothing to do. He didn't ask to be here. Like, none of it. It has nothing to do with him. And I go through a lot. Like I said, he is autistic. I have to do IEP meetings. I have to just do all these different type of things for him. When he gets sick, I have to take off work. I have to do all of these. I don't have any help. And even though he was my abuser, I still try to find that happy medium for my son.
Let me tell you something right there, dear. That's called survivor's remorse. You don't owe him nothing. You can't force him to want to co-parent. You can't force him to want to be in your child life despite the situation. You really shouldn't want to have a relationship with him whatsoever because you didn't go through that abuse alone. Your baby went through it with you too. And it's something that you have to take into account. And I used to be like that, like trying to be open about it, but that baby, he don't deserve that, baby. He don't deserve you. Don't force that because you don't know how safe your child really is with this man. So you just have to find your family. Like I said, I'm an autism mom. If you need me, girl, you can call me. We'll have 16 mimosas while they're running around there. And he's when I can't drink now because I'm pregnant. I'll take a mocktail. But you have to find your village because you didn't go through that abuse alone. And I apologize to my baby so much because there should have been enough alone for me to leave, regardless. Yep. And he's 2 now. He has a permanent gash on his arm from a fight that me and his dad had. He was like 2 weeks, just had a C-section. This man attacked me. I'm laying on my baby like this, a 5-pound baby, trying to protect him. I had to bite this man until I broke the skin and shake my baby because he was blue. I should have left then. But I just had a baby. I just had a C-section. I couldn't. But I had to learn this called survivor's remorse. We still try to be there. We still try to fix things that we didn't break. and it's not safe, and it will also trigger you and put you back in that PTSD mode.
He
Because
does. He
he
always.
ain't gonna do it right. So now you like, this nigga, god damn it, you mad again. It ain't it's not worth it. Because
It's
although you
always.
feel like you're healed, it takes one thing to trigger you. You'll never know what you'll do. And you'll never know what he'll do. And the most important thing right now is your baby. And you kill a nigga dead in your head. It ain't worth it. You gotta find your tribe. I'm telling you. I'm I went
It
through it.
is, and it's just like to this day, he said, I should have did right by you. I learned my lesson. I want my family back.
Take that
I'm like,
man to
this
court.
is my family.
Take him to court and ask him to put him on a supervised parenting plan. You want to be in his life? Them folks gonna watch you in everything you do. Cause I'll be
That's what
damned.
I thought. I said, now, if you
Done did it to
really
me.
want that,
When it comes to them kids, I'm in my mugshot. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. Do it the legal way. You'll find out if he really give a damn. I did it with my first baby. This, and that. We on a legal parenting plan. He don't follow it. You know what that does? It penalizes him. I can take him back to court. It's called a petition of contempt. Yo, it's gonna pay me, and you gonna go to jail. Cause I didn't lay up and have this baby by myself. And I'm not gonna keep going through shit I don't have to keep going through. Absolutely not. See, men, they get mad at you and they take down on their offspring. Men sometimes get you pregnant to trap you and to keep you. Baby, you can't stop this motion, baby. It's action behind this motion. A nigga told me, ain't nobody gonna want you ran through with 2 kids. Baby,
yes, they will.
husband eat my ass like a cupcake, baby. Pregnant now.
Whoa!
Pregnant
Wait
now.
a minute.
Pregnant now, baby.
Wait a minute. We had conversations about eating ass last week.
You gotta because men make us self-destruct so bad, baby. You the shit. Don't let no man make you feel like you not. Use the shit when he got with you. Use the shit when he got you pregnant. You still the shit, baby. Beautifully broken. Damaged goods. No, sir.
Look here.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Look here. We had the conversation about eating ass last week. We're not doing that again. No.
You gotta laugh at your pain sometimes.
You
That's
do.
Miss Richardson, like, baby,
Eating ass from the back door.
No, I'm loving the dialogue. I really am. I'm just waiting so I can chime in. I am loving it, especially when you just brought up how they sometimes I don't want to. It's not a cookie cutter, one size fits all. I mean, there are, of course, some overlapping dynamics that fits most abusers, but for the most part. I like when you said sometimes that they will you intentionally get you pregnant. Sometimes they do that. I've had clients, but I'll wait my turn. Go ahead and finish. I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm just saying because sometimes that's the plan. That I've had clients who actually have told me that the abuser told them, you know, I'm going to get you pregnant. And of course, they're being intimate. Of course, they're doing what couples do. And, you know, once she's pregnant, he'll say things to the effect of, nobody wants you. Don't nobody want you but me. And I don't even want you. And trying to put in her mind that she's worthless, that she's useless, that she's unlovable. All of these things he's trying to tear down her confidence, her self-worth, her value, anything to make her question who she is as a woman, as not only a partner or former partner of his or potentially former partner, but the mother of his child or his children.
But they don't understand that that's a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves. You are still your own individual person, and people project, especially abusers.
Get into it.
We gonna have church here, Miss Richardson.
No, I don't even want to have church because everything but I'm telling you, this conversation needed to be had, and he has you all here, and I'm just listening. And some of it, I mean, a lot of our conversations when you don't know or you haven't spoken to a survivor, or someone who is actually in it at the moment, it becomes so nuanced. It just becomes a conversation with no depth to it. But I'm listening to what you all have shared, and it sounds eerily familiar to some of the former clients that I've had, and even myself as a former domestic violence teen survivor. I mean, from the ages of 16 until 19. I'm an only child, and my mom didn't even know I was getting my butt kicked. That's another conversation for another day. But I wanted to say this, that domestic violence, as you all know, and thank you so much, DeEricka, Ocean, for sharing your experiences, because I do believe that it's going to encourage a lot of women. Hopefully some men as well, because that's another it's not fact, it's fiction, that it's only women who are abused. There are more women who are abused, from what studies show, from what statistics show, from what data shows. However, on the other side of that, research shows that a lot of men won't come forward, for lack of being ridiculed, ostracized, or, for lack of better terms, just being, you know, rejected, because how can you allow a woman to beat on you? But it's also traumatizing. That's what we're getting to. All of this is trauma. And my first experience with it, because I think that's what guided me to this platform, as far as being a part of my purpose, is that as an only child, growing up, I saw my aunt being physically abused, emotionally abused, psychologically abused. I mean, it wasn't my mom that I witnessed this. It was my aunt who would babysit. My mom's older sister she had the dog kicked out of her on a regular basis by a man who said he loved her. She had and see, I know we're talking about our beauty and all of this aesthetics, but whether a woman I pray that all women do see themselves as beautiful and worth having in anyone's life, whether it's friendship or intimate relationship. I want women to know, whether they see themselves as beautiful or not, it doesn't give a person, I won't say men, because even in the LGBTQ community, there's a lot of domestic violence going on. There's a lot of it, and it's being reported more so now than it has in times past. But my aunt was in a relationship with a man, and she was so young, beautiful figure, all of that. He beat her so bad she lost her teeth. I remember her, I mean, being in her 30s, having false teeth because he would beat her that bad. And I'm just encouraged today, because a lot of women don't have the testimonies that you all have. I mean, being survivors, being on the other side, now giving back to the community, now being a part of the tribe, and you, Ocean, having your own NPO, and that's nonprofit organization. For those who I use a lot of acronyms, and I need to get out of that. But when you're on this side, we kind of use those just to for the sake of time. But both of you had these experiences that are you know surreal, but yet at the end of it, we see how you're fighting back. It reminds me of an old song by Beyonce. I can think of so many gospel songs, but I don't want to do that. I'm a survivor. No matter what happened to you all, look at you, you're surviving. Even if it's for your children, whether it's for other women who would look to you to encourage them to continue to fight. But I'm there are so many. I think Herc wanted me to share a little bit about your organization is one that people can look to. Ocean, I also have one where it's a support group of sorts, where a girlfriend and we usually do it twice a year, but it's Mending the Soul. I went to Arizona. I do a lot. I condense my bio because I do a lot on the platforms that I speak on and that I'm educated in. So, but I'm always looking to get my CEUs up, and I'm always looking for innovative methods, because everybody is different in their journey. They're healing from trauma. And this was trauma. Me witnessing trauma. My aunt being physically, emotionally abused. Even he tried to sexually abuse me. It didn't happen, but he tried it. And so we're talking about control. We're talking about physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, isolation. I heard both of you talking about how the men would try to isolate. And that's what these type of abusers do. They isolate us from our families, from our friends. They women may not see control. And it depends on what type of lens you're looking through. You know, that's cute. Oh, he loves me. And I don't remember if it was both of you or if it was you, Ocean. I really believe it was you. It may have been both of you because my phone died. But when we talk about how these men try to get us to a point where if we don't see it as control, we think it's love. You know, we think it's love. Oh, that's cute. He's jealous. That's not something. Once you've been in the grips of it, once you're up close and personal with domestic violence, jealousy isn't cute. It's really, it really could be a trigger. See, I've been married 27 years come February. My husband knew me 2 weeks. He was like, "You're my wife." 3 months later, Brandon Porter married us. And he showed me something different in those weeks leading up, those between the 2 weeks and the 3 months of us getting married, because it was 2 weeks when he asked me, and it took us 3 months to say, yeah, he met a few people that I trusted, because I didn't trust men. I didn't. And we were young. We were in our 20s. I mean, I'm like 25, I think, and he was like 24. I didn't really trust men. I didn't trust people, period. I'm saying all that to say this. When people treat you different than what you've seen, even as an only child, because people had a lens, a perspective about me being an only child, but I was a broken girl. I mean, I heard you talk about how your mouth was out. My mom, the guy that I was dating in high school, he beat me so bad just because a guy spoke to me. And yeah, I must admit, I don't want to take this to a deep, dark place, but I know Herc said we was going to keep it light, and it may be triggering, but one thing I joke about, I was like, yeah, I was fine back then. That song, the Commodore's Brick House, that was me. They didn't even know me, but that song was definitely me. So yes.
T Rich.
Yes.
Little T Rich, your mama big fine. Don't do that information what you will. Look, your mama fine.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm saying, back then I believe it, but see, these men are so hurt and so broken, and a lot of what I've seen, because there is healing for them as well. It's not for us to do the healing though, ladies. So that's what I've heard from you all. Even though DeEricka, I heard you were trying to be a mediator for your son and his dad, but I'm not telling you what to do, because that is far beyond me. I'm not in my counselor seat with you. I am on here as an experienced counselor, but I stand with Ocean. I believe, no, your baby is probably being protected, and it doesn't have anything directly to do with him. However, you being that mediator for them, at this point, if it doesn't happen naturally, there are other things that you can do. I know you want his dad in his life, but he needs help. Just like you're taking time to work on your beautiful self, you're getting past the trauma, you're healing, and that journey is going to take you different ways. He's going to have to heal too, because I would hate for your son to be in the midst of something like that, and him being hurt, because it takes a woman such as yourself, DeEricka, as well as Ocean, to have patience. And it seems like to me, a lot of these men who are abusive, they don't have patience. They're broken, they're traumatized. But one thing that I do know, broken men can mend. So I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying. Broken men can mend, M-E-N-D. They can mend, but they have to want to mend. And until such a time, you do what you can for your son. You don't have to try to be his dad. Don't try to do that. You're his mom. Be the mom. Be a parent. Be his mom. Love him and do what you're called to do as his mother. And that's protecting yourself and keeping yourself healthy and safe and sound for him. So, but yeah, so the YWCA, there are so many programs out here. Ocean, I'm going to connect with you because I want to put something in place that we can work together. And I thank her for bringing us together in this manner.
Thank you.
Because I never would have known to do this with you. I had not heard of you. You had not heard of me. But there are not enough I'm trying to wrap it up, but there are not enough of us out here because it's still such a taboo topic. Domestic violence is,
And
and it's
I've been trying to live more in the purpose. It's just really,
right.
it's really deep in me, and I take it personal because I experienced it. But God has really been pulling me and putting me in people's faces. I've been getting tagged and stuff. I
Well,
just
you've
recently
been put in my face. You've been put in my face, and
I
I'm
got
loving it.
tagged in the post, and
I
I was
love
like,
it.
okay. And
Look, I do want to say,
I just recently did a domestic violence. It was like a brunch where survivors came together. It was a panel, and
Yeah,
I spoke in front of people. And in
I
my
love it.
mind, I'm just telling my story, but everybody was like,
Yeah.
"This your first time speaking?" So I'm so grateful for this opportunity because I want to continually to be heard. I want to continue to share the resources and the knowledge that I have. And once I get this degree, I'm trying to be like you, Miss Richardson. I'm trying to get like you, girl.
Oh wow! And there's plenty of work for it. And DeEricka, go ahead, because I only have one more. Go ahead and say what you
well,
want to say.
I was just gonna say, are y'all able to hear me? Because I kind of moved my phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I was gonna say, touching on the topic of y'all were kind of like we were kind of like put together for a reason. I know I was at work right before Herc emailed me. Well, he inboxed me on Facebook. I was standing at work telling this lady, which I call her my work mom because she's kind of like my mentor. I was telling her, I was like, I want to do something different. I was like, I kind of built up the courage to make a post on Facebook in October about my story. So that was the first thing. I kind of just woke up one day and it was put on my heart to, tell my story because, like I said, it not speaking about it, not actually putting it out. I realized that it hindered a lot of things that, I would like to do or have going on, whether it be relationships from friends to work to romantic, whatever it may be. I do still have a lot of triggers. So it was kind of hindering a lot. So I was telling her, I was like, I really want to do something different. I need to figure out, my purpose with this. And I feel like it was put on my heart to tell because I'm a survivor and I'm a survivor for a reason. So I was like, I want to do something different. And I was just telling her, and Herc just inboxed me out of nowhere. And I was like, okay, Lord, if you just gonna slap me with your little Jesus sound, I understand.
Well, it just goes back to the cliche that closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Testimony can be therapeutic. And sometimes we internalize it by saying that we're healed and we're feeling better, but it can eat you up inside till you get it out. And you can trust some people. You can't trust everybody. But God makes no mistakes. And always remember that your pain is never in vain. Your pain has purpose. I look at it as paid pain. You better tell your story, baby. Somebody gonna buy it.
I almost backed out, y'all. I was so nervous. I almost backed out.
Glad
I told him. I said, I'm so nervous. And yesterday, I actually had a message typed up to you in my inbox, Herc, to tell you that I don't know if I want to do this. I was like, I'm a little nervous, but one of my friends was like, well, DeEricka, you already started. You already put it out publicly. And they were at work like, so you gonna tell him, yeah, right. So the very next day when I got to work, she said, so you told him, yeah, right. So I was like, I told him, yes, I would do it. So I'm actually glad that I did it because I was able to meet both of you. Both of you are survivors. I don't really know, just personally, I don't really know any survivors. I don't really know anybody that has really been through what I've been through, I should say. So I was telling them, I just wanted to do something different so I can meet some other women that kind of are thinking like me when it comes to this situation. So I feel like y'all were He inboxed me at the right time, and I just feel like, I mean, the moment I was like, okay, you just gonna slap me with your sandal. Okay, I get it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. But I'm so glad that my classmate that actually tagged me in the status. Shout out to her. And yeah,
Big up Brittany Sessoms, because you be looking out for me, girl. Thank you, girl.
I wanted to say this to both of you as well, and I'm happy for you, DeEricka. I want to say this. I'm thankful that you all are here to share your testimonies, because from what research shows, and even from my own time with clients, it takes many more times. I think statistics say 7 times, but I think it's more than that. I think it's more than 7 times for you to say you're going to leave your partner and come back. And I want to share these 2 testimonies. My mom's oldest sister that I share with you all about, whose husband beat her, and that was as a child. I think I was 5, 6 years old watching that. How about fast forward? I have another aunt. She's my mom's younger sister. She, to my knowledge, because sometimes, like you all know, we don't share this part of life. We want people to see our guys as these great guys, and we try to hide the abuse and the bruises and all of that. Even the control, where he's checking, the mileage, he's the socioeconomic part of it, where he's controlling the money. All of these are dynamics and facets of that abuse. But my mom had a younger sister. I think it was about 8 years ago. Her daughter, my cousin, was in college. The daughter, my cousin, I'm trying to get through it this fast, but without making it seem a certain way. So she was in an abusive relationship. My cousin was. She wasn't the one who lost her life. Her mom, my mom's younger sister, who had never, to my knowledge, been in a domestic violence relationship. She was dating a married man who was like 18 years older than she was. His wife finally died. She was visiting him, and as she was leaving, and this was all in the police report, he gunned her down, literally gunned her down. So when you're saying you don't know people who are survivors, you're right, because my aunt didn't survive. Her daughter, my cousin, who is younger than I am, I never will forget it. She was at A State pledging. She was online to pledge. She could not go get the car because her mom had just been pleading with her to leave the guy she was with. And they asked my husband not to go get the car. We went and got that car. We could not believe. The car had over 20 plus bullet holes in it. He had chased her down and gunned her. And she was in her 40s when she passed. And so that's been about 16 years ago. So I said all that to say this. I've never been back in a domestic violence relationship. Once I got out of that one as a teenager, never looked back. I had a Damascus Road encounter. I had an epiphany. I was like, no, dadgummit. No. I said some cuss words. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what? Like what Ocean said. I really felt myself back then. I couldn't see why I was with this dude who had such low self-esteem, why I would stay with him and allow him to kick my butt, beat the out of me like he did. I mean, I had braces on the top row of my teeth, and he hit me so hard, the meat was hanging down. I pushed it back up. My mom would go to work. I'm like, yeah, smiling and trying to pretend. But I'm telling you, once you get out of that for good, and recognize your value, you don't go back to it. I mean, if you do, there's still, I believe, some trauma that needs healing. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still healing in other ways, I guess, but I don't feel like I've made it. But one thing that I do know, I value myself, and this road and helping women to feel good about themselves and to know, no matter what this looks like, because at the end of the day, if I take these tracks out, if I take a wig off, when I get under it, I still love me. I feel like Mary J. Blige. I like what I see when I'm walking past the mirror. I love it. I mean, all the flaws, all of the other stuff, the lashes can come off. I still love me, and I will never, ever allow myself. And I'm glad that I waited and healed to meet this guy that I met. And, he treats me like he does. So I just wanted to say that, Herc, and to the beautiful ladies, my sisters, I'll be connecting with them. But I wanted to say this Salvation Army, I had a few written down. The Dorothy Day House, the YWCA, the the section of it that the sector is the Abused Women's Services. That's the part of the YWCA. We have the Memphis Union Mission, and the last one that I know, Door of Hope Memphis, and there are probably several others like my sister Ocean, who has her nonprofit. And as for me and what counseling services I offer with Mending the Soul and ACEs, those are annual. I have to go back and do CEUs to stay up on what the new and most innovative practices are now for those who are surviving domestic violence. But congratulations to you two, my sisters who are domestic violence survivors. I'm Dr. Rich, and this has been great, Herc. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I haven't had I haven't had to say anything in a minute. Just because just being able to just sit here and listen and kind of just take in the stories and the testimonies and the different resources and all that. It's just been it's been refreshing. We're gonna go to break and then we're gonna come back. So stay tuned. We listen to Herc's World. Welcome back to Herc's World. I am your girlfriend's favorite podcast host, Big Herc. And if she says I'm not, that hoe is a liar. See, now I got y'all saying it. But no, like before we went to break, we were given a whole bunch of resources and different testimonies about where to look for help and find help. The one thing that I wanted to say to each of y'all, y'all all said it in your own ways, but the reason so when I think of content for Herc's World, I always try to I be trying to keep up with the latest topics with with pop culture and things like that. But one of the other reasons that I started Herc's World was I wanted to talk about things that we as a community kind of don't really talk about. And I knew that, although we are in November, I knew October was Domestic Violence Month. And I know a lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people deal with it in some way, shape, fashion, or form, but we don't talk about it a lot in our community. We don't, like you said, it's still kind of taboo and it's still kind of not the normal. And it's still kind of just looked at, oh, well, ain't nobody hitting on you. You should just leave or whatever the case may be. So when I put together or when I thought about doing this episode, I didn't really know where to kind of look. And then when I kind of just threw out that reel, the openings of support and just say, hey, tag this person, go talk to that person, go on TikTok and look at this, and just it's just so many different avenues and advocates. So I just want to commend all three of you ladies for not only being strong enough and brave enough to tell your story, but being strong enough and brave enough to say, hey, I ain't gotta take this shit. I am stronger. I am beautiful. I am, I am me, and can't nobody stop that. And it's not just women either. Like, it's not just women either. Guys, I know it's frowned upon. Like, oh man, you can't let you letting a female beat your ass. You letting say something.
You at home, like your boys would say, whooping your ass. Tell somebody.
And ladies, it's not cute to belittle men, to give them attitude, to be that ain't cute. It's not cute. Right. It doesn't always have to be physical. Women are manipulative too. So
some women are, and it's like, and just because he or she may not be putting their hands on you, if they talking to you some type of way, and it's just constantly just getting worse and worse, that's a form of abuse too. That's domestic violence too. So talk to somebody, say something. don't just be out here dealing with this shit alone. Because there are resources, there's help. Just tell somebody. I can't tell y'all to slide in Ocean DMs because she married. I can't tell y'all. I can't tell y'all to slide in Dr. Richardson DMs either because she married. And yeah,
I can help you find some resources. But
yeah, slide in DMs for the resources, but don't slide in them DMs because for nothing else. I can tell y'all to slide in DeEricka DMs though, because I'm about to. And y'all know, I ain't got no sense. I be telling folks to slide in folks DMs, so it was coming. But no, you ladies have dropped a whole lot of knowledge. We're gonna go we're gonna go to break one more time, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So stay tuned for more Herc's World. Welcome back to Herc's World. I am your girlfriend's favorite podcast host. And it's time for my favorite part of the show. This part of the show is songs you should not have been singing as a kid. Now, last week it was Getting Some Head by Shauna. The week before that, it was What's Your Fantasy by Ludacris. This week, it's not a nasty song. Well, let's see. Where can we go?
Oh, wait.
Let's go. Do we want to go R&B or do we want to go hip hop?
I know. What is it? Blow Your Back Out by what's his name?
Blow Your Back Out.
Y'all know that song? I'm tired of talking on the phone. I'm tired of conversation. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I was like in middle school, and I'm like,
I know what
it's the back out.
It's the tip. It's on the tip of my. I know what you're talking about. And blow you. It's called. It is actually called Blow Your Back Out.
Come on, probably listen to this in middle school on the bus with the iPod shuffle.
Oh, that's what I'm ring a bell. I'm scared.
Blow Your Back
Out.
Though.
I used to be like, I ain't ready for no sex, but we was trying to be grown as teenagers.
I'm gonna go with Old Reliable.
What you got?
We gonna go.
This song,
we gonna go down.
This song. DeEricka, like,
I'm trying to blow your back out. Okay. We're gonna go with Old Reliable. Just because I just like this group. So this week's song, you should not have been singing as a kid. Juicy. Pretty rich.
Okay. That's it right there. The whole album hurt. The whole album.
Look, we was at Liberty Land with the Reeboks. Too young. With the Pretty Ricky blue stars. The crinkle.
Doing a little dances.
With the Jabot jeans.
And the skate ring.
Girl, I had some white Reebok classics with the peanut butter soles. You couldn't tell me no my peach Jabot jeans with the pink shirt.
You just have to play that whole album. That whole album you should not have been listening to. I just posted it on my stories. Pretty
girl, that just took me back.
Been listening to that.
That just took me back. That album went out. I went to the fair at Liberty Land. Ooh wee. I had this little crinkle, this little half up, half down with the remember we used to wear the hairstyles with the colorful
fast at the fair.
The colorful rubber bands. I had the little crinkles, a little girl. I thought I was doing something.
Baby, look, I can't even talk about.
So Juicy by Pretty Ricky is the song of the week. You should not have been listening to as a kid. Go stream the whole album. It's called Blue Stars by Pretty Ricky.
Yeah.
So go listen to that. YouTube don't flag it because I'm not paying that shit. So do with that information what you
We
will
do
if you want to
not
break.
own copyrights to the music.
Like Facebook say. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to Herc's World. I am your girlfriend's favorite podcast host. We've had fun tonight, man. I know tonight was a serious topic. We talked about DV, we talked about different forms. We've had 3 survivors come on and just basically tell their stories about what they've gone through, how they're continuing to survive and conquer and do everything amazing. There are different resources for anyone that may need help. This is the part of the show where you come off mute and basically you tell the people where you can be found if you want to be found, anything you got coming up, and a quote you live by. So Ocean, you go first.
You can find me on Facebook by my screen name, Ocean Bailey Cole. You can also find my business under the it's Blooming Lotus Lifestyle and Wellness Company. It's a white background with the black lotus and also the Butterfly Effect Foundation. It is a purple and blue gradient profile picture. Quote that I live by is a 24-hour reset. You get a new set of 24 hours to do something different. Yesterday's worry does not matter within these 24 hours, and give yourself a break. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be human, but take it easy on yourself. Life is hard enough.
Very well said. DeEricka, what you got?
All right. I just have my regular social media. Facebook, you can type my name in, DeEricka, as it shows on the screen. It'll probably say DeEricka Miss Nuna Tucker. My Instagram is that damn Denise _. And my TikTok name, y'all don't look. I be forgetting my TikTok name. I think it's Smoke D19. But either way, if you type my name in, you should find me. Herc said, fall in my inbox. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. You can fall in there, but I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that I'm gonna be just because I'm probably not. But okay, there you go. I'll accept you. So yeah, that's where you can find me. And like I said, just for anybody that's going through a domestic violence situation, it's okay. It's okay if you don't know which way to turn at the moment. But like I did, I prayed. I prayed a lot. I looked at myself in the mirror a lot just to see, like, girl, boy, man, whatever. This is not you. This is not how you want to continue to live. And just the honest truth, if you want to survive the situation, even if you're still in it, you have to figure out how you are going to get out of it before it's too late, because people do not care about you. I feel like the only people that really care about you is you. And you have to do what you got to do. So for everyone, like I said, it's okay. Reach out. I mean, if you want to reach out to me, I'm a talker. I like conversation. So I can talk. I can listen. I can give advice. I'm not the type to say, girl, you need to go ahead and leave, because it's just not that easy. But I'm here. Like I said, all of my social medias. You can follow my inbox for those things. That's about it.
My male listeners gonna want to know: do you be throwing that thing in a circle on TikTok?
Ooh, I don't throw that thing in a circle on TikTok. I probably got one video on there that I posted. Like,
you gotta post some more videos.
I'm not posting no more videos throwing their ass in a circle. I used to have rhythm back in the day, but I don't have. Look, the TikTok dances, that's past my time. We was doing lean with it, rock with it. We was doing the pancake. We was doing the heel toe. All this other stuff. TikTok got. I can't do it.
You
I
can
ain't
do
really
all that
into
on.
it.
You can do all
I'm
that on
still on
TikTok.
Megan Thee Stallion. I'm still on. I'm a savage, classy, but I'm still on it. I'm still trying to learn it. So on TikTok, you follow me on TikTok, you're gonna find one good video of me shaking some ass. That's about it. And I ain't gonna say it's probably my best work because I don't do no ass shaking nowadays. So
Fellas, when you slide in DM, take her out to eat on her
I
birthday.
like to eat.
Take her out to eat on her birthday. She'll throw it in a circle on her birthday. It's
Herc,
her
I do want to
birthday.
give a disclosure though. I do want to give a disclosure while you telling all your male friends to talk to me.
What?
Some lady can take me out to eat. Let's say these.
Oh, ladies and
Some lady
fellas.
can take me out. I'm gonna get that
Dang.
disclosure. You telling
I
all
wish
your
you-
male friends.
I wish you
You
would have
telling-
said something before I got married and pregnant.
Ah!
Oh.
You telling
Look.
all your male friends, look, it's cool. Y'all can tell me I'm cute and all, but ladies, I like to eat. My feel-good food is seafood. So if you like crab legs, even if you don't like crab legs, they got other shit at the restaurant too. You can watch me eat them crab legs.
Ladies,
watch me.
ladies, do with that information what you will. Fellas, do with that information what you will. Slide.
Y'all like to think y'all can do a little reverse magic on it. So.
See, it ain't. Look, you ain't got a reverse.
See now, you going
ladies,
deep.
just slide in her DM. Do what you gotta do. Fellas, maybe you can watch. I don't know. No, I'm playing.
Stay out.
Lady slide in her DM. If nothing else from this episode, I hope that y'all took something from the episode, from the survivor stories. Well, testimonies. I'm gonna call them testimonies. That you're not alone if you're going through this. This situation can happen to anybody. I understand that, sometimes you feel trapped. Sometimes you feel like, oh, he or she loves me. He or she is the best I've ever had. In some cases, you bigmatize. In some cases, the pussy good. I get it. I understand. But in no way, shape, fashion, or form is it okay for somebody to put their hands on you or belittle you or talk to you crazy. It's not okay. Period. So if you're going through it, the resources are there. Talk to somebody, tell somebody what's going on. Because I guarantee somebody knows somebody that can help you. Osean, DeEricka, Dr. Richardson, I really, really greatly appreciate y'all for coming together and talking to me.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Yes.
It was really like just sitting back listening. I was like damn, like this shit really happens. Like and it's not just it's nothing like they say in the movies. So continue. I wish y'all nothing but continued happiness and peace. And blessings. Ocean, I want to do something special for you. What I need you to do for me, is I need you to. I'm gonna send you a one pager for that I send for promotion for, because if you look above my head, commercial spots. If you send me that information, I'm gonna have our mini mix sponsor Ad Kisser make you a special commercial that we'll play throughout the podcast. It's usually $25, but my gift to you,
I got you, dog. I gotta support.
as a we gonna call it a baby gift. We gonna run it for free. So we gonna do that for you. It's been fun as always. If you don't work, you don't eat. You got to crawl for you can walk for you can run, and man, run before you can fly. And so the next time you see my face and hear my voice, commercial spots start at $25. Shout out to our mini mix sponsor, Ad Kisser, aka Casual, because he does all the commercials for Herc's World, and he does an excellent job. So next time you see my face and hear my voice, Herc out. Oh, and then if nothing else, keep your motherfucking hands to yourself.
Keep your fucking hands to yourself,
little bit,
motherfucker. Thank you.